it's been a while since I've been able to go live. I was watching my niece and nephew for, niece for 6 months, nephew for 9 months. And so I have not been able to go live for a while, but now I'm on vacation. And ironically, I am so excited to get into this stuff. So come join me, say hello. I am going to be using a dustpan to do a new technique that I learned from Countertop Epoxy when I took their class. The only resin I can get my hands on was the amazing Clear Cast. I have not been able to get the rest of my resin shipment in yet. I have that being shipped, and I'll have that for the countertops that I do on Friday, which I will also try to stream live if I can. That one is going to be, apparently it's going to be like a whole friggin' party. I'm going to have my grandpa there. I'm going to have my sister there. My dad might be joining. Apparently my grandpa's roommate's son wants to see. It's going to be a friggin' party. So I will be doing something similar-ish to this. And I wanted to make sure that I can film the process and bring you guys along and hang out for a little bit. So hope you guys are doing awesome. Let me clear out these so I can see any comments. Make sure you let me know where you guys are watching from. Later. We're in line with tomorrow. There we go. Okay, I can see the whole chat. So I know the lighting totally sucks. I'm sorry. This is what I have. Actually, let me turn this window all the way up. Oh, the dust. Oh, this is not going to be like a perfect pour. It is going to be dusty. But this is actually from one of those fold up desks that attach to the wall, and then it comes down. So when this is on the wall, this will be the main piece. When it is folded down, this is technically the leg. So this is what I'm working with. I wanted to show you the prep process because I've had quite a few people talk to me about how I got the perfect friggin' lines from my resin, because that's not easy to do when you are doing it as the sides. And sometimes the resin leaks through, stuff like that. So this stuff is friggin' heavenly. Yellow painter's tape, white painter's tape, whatever you want to call it. My dad is a house painter, and they laughed at me when I called this yellow painter's tape. But if you look at this, this is white. This looks cream or yellow to me. So I don't know who's laughing now. But make sure you have all your supplies ready. I am using the only thing I can get my hands on, which is the Lumiere by Jacquard. I'm doing the pearlescent white, the pearlescent turquoise, and the pewter. I decided to go with these instead of the $7 powder pigments because I did not want to buy powdered pigments. And then let me take this off. Make sure your edges are completely removed of anything that's on there. I will be doing extra resin in these parts because of her hardware. Apparently this is like a really crappy wood. So her hardware is going to be a little like peeling and all that kind of stuff. Like it's just not holding to. Actually, I don't need the gloves just yet, but let me know. Let's see here. And then what I'm going to do right now is I'm taking the white. I'm going to say white only because that's what they call it. The white painter's tape. And I'm going to make sure that it goes right along the edge. I am not going to well this one. I am just going to put it right along the edge, right where I want it to stop. Does not matter if you have long pieces, short pieces, whatever. I have found that I have done this quite a few times now, about 8 different projects, and not a single one of them leaked through when I did it this way. So make sure that you follow pretty closely and ask questions. If you have any questions, I am absolutely willing to answer any of the questions that you have. Now, I do have some acrylic paint that I will be painting right where this meets because I do not want any of the resin to go through. So in order to make sure that happens, I have a great tape. Blue painter's tape will not work, just so you know. I've tried it so many times, it's ridiculous. Blue painter's tape does not work. And you want to make sure you're sealing the tape, because if you even look right here, it's starting to come off just a touch. So if you seal the tape by painting all where the tape touches your board, then it will create the perfect seal. Normally, you would want to paint with whatever color is underneath. Unfortunately, Walmart had silver. They didn't have anything else. They had silver and black, and I didn't want to put black on there because I will be working with a pewter, which is not quite black, and I don't want the background to be super, super dark. So I'm going to try to flood it with more of the white than anything else. But I'm going to do this really quickly. Who's on? Who is live? Tell me hi. I want to see who's watching so I can say hello. How was your 4th of July? Hope it was absolutely fantastic. I got to spend it with my family, and I haven't seen them in a year, so it has been amazing. My sister's at work, though, so I figured I would keep myself a little busy by doing something like this and hanging out with y'all. And you can hear the kids in the background. They're playing together. They used to be like cats and dogs, and now they are so good at getting along. And my niece wants to do a video with me, so as long as I approve it with her parents, then I will do another one later on with her. Okay. You know what? I might put some music on too. I'm going a little stir crazy in such silence. I'm gonna get some music on. So for any of those who are thinking about doing some type of YouTube channel, Epidemic Sound is amazing because you can use all of their music on your YouTubes, including your lives, which is amazing. So let's just go genres. Ooh, no, moods. Here we go. Happy, dreamy. Dreamy's always a good one. And okay, play. There it goes. Here we go. Royalty-free music. Love it. Oh my goodness. I wish I was back at home with my workstation. This is so different. So you can see the tape process is pretty darn easy. You just really want to make sure that you're putting that paint down to seal. That's the biggest part. And if you can't hear me over the music, just let me know. So actually this I'm going to leave straight. Go like this. And then I'm going to let the resin flow through the hinge holes, which you guys can't quite see. So I'll try to show you that here. Oh my God, this lighting sucks. I am so sorry. Okay, so this is the hinge hole I'm talking about. I am going to let the resin flow through that. And then I'm going to tape on the bottom so that way the drips will come off. Actually, no. Change my mind. I am going to make this go in. I just know I'm going to have issues if I do that. Always better to have to go back and do resin later than have to clean up all those drips. Stay a pain. There we go. Now, we're gonna take the foam brush and the silver, and I'm gonna focus the majority of my paint right along the edge where it connects. It's already open. I don't mind having a nice thick layer. I think it ends up being better. I might even have a little bit of this run through because I don't have white, but if you did have the color underneath, if any of it does run through, then it ends up being just fine. That's why I told you guys that, to hopefully help prevent that from happening to you. And you should be able to tell if there are any places that are not sealed by this paint. And I just come back and I push all that tape just like this as an extra way of making sure I get all that acrylic right there at the edge. There we go. Now, there are a couple of things that I normally would do that I don't have right now. I don't have a sander, so I would recommend having this sanded and then doing your paint, but like I said, I don't have a sander. And this is just like a quick base coat. You don't have to have it perfect. You just want to make sure that it does seal that tape. And then it dries fast because it's acrylic. So as this is drying, I will be mixing my resin. And I have used the Amazing Clear Cast before. It is not my personal favorite. I do notice an odor with it, and especially right now with COVID, masks being a little bit harder to come by, I just don't personally recommend it for indoor use like I am doing right now. I just don't have an option. Not in my normal environment. So, and then gloves, same thing. But if you do happen to get resin on your hands and you have no gloves, the best way to get that off is with poppy seeds and Dawn dish soap. Like a tongue twister. Dawn dish soap. All right, it's already drying. Okay, and I just want to have all the grain going the same way. My sister owns a salon, so she did have some isopropyl alcohol. Thank you, Jesus. So I do get to use that for some of my effects. Now the effects are going to be a little bit different with it because of the pigments that I'm using. They're not powder pigments. So it is going to alter the way that the alcohol is affected on top of this. All right. I'm afraid that the pigments I have too are not going to be super pigmented, and I can't add too much of them because it is an acrylic. So the acrylic, you want to make sure you're doing a 10% ratio. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this works. All right, first thing we're going to do is start mixing. And I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time, just because this is a smaller project and I do need to have some more resin for the other project that I have later. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour all of my colors into one cup, and then I'm going to dirty pour that into the dustpan, and then that is going to be dragged across my art piece. So, oh, there's hair in there. That'll come out. So that will be a part of this process. Oh, there's hair all over this. Oh my gosh. She's got 3 animals and no area where the animals are not allowed. So that makes this a little bit more difficult. And I'm gonna start with 16 ounces. So 8 of each. More dog hair. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is gonna be a hot freaking mess. That's okay. Just practice. All right. Almost to 8. Now, I learned quite a few things from the countertop epoxy class that I took, but I am taking, I'm going to do a physical class with them too, but I'm watching their class right now online, the physical one, and I'm going to see how that adds some more to my notes, and then I will share all of those with you. You know what? I really think these measurements are off. That doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, look at that. This line goes to here, and then this one goes down there. Shoot. Well, all right. We'll make do. Strip stick. Obviously, this is not dry yet, but I'm not worried about the middle part. That's all going to get covered. Oh, I see dog hair. Yo, this is gonna be a fishing expedition. For those that are sticking around, I appreciate it. I appreciate the thumbs up that someone gave too. Y'all are awesome. I know I can't do lives often, so I know there's definitely way cooler things to do than watch me mix resin, but I appreciate y'all supporting me. This one probably will not stay up forever with the crappy lighting, and I'll do an actual better recording. Notice I'm scraping the sides and the bottom. So wet. Not drying fast. Hey, what up, honey bunny? Figured I'd record the test piece. You haven't gotten to see me do this yet. I'm doing a dustpan technique. Oh my gosh, and it's so freaking hot in here, ironically. You're gonna be awesome. Thanks, baby doll. I love you. Y'all, I'm lucky. I have the most supportive husband in the world. Alright, looking pretty good. We're gonna divide this out into, I'm gonna do 3 cups for now. And the acrylic's not fully dry, but we're gonna have to make do. It's what happens when you're on vacation and you don't have all of the normal tools and resources that you would have. Now, one of the key things that I did learn from the countertop epoxy was making sure that once you pour them into the separate cups, that you really, really mix again, because no matter what, in that first cup, you are going to have, there it goes. You are going to have some sticky spots, no matter what. So you really want to make sure that even though you think you got all the clouds, like I've taught you before, and scrape the sides and the bottom and all that good stuff, you're still going to have the chance of unmixed resin, especially on large projects. So with large projects, you really want to make sure that you are focusing on mix, 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 mix until you annoy the crap out of yourself. Mix, mix, mix. Okay, again, 10%, and mix. Now these were right by the resin, so I assume these are meant as resin additives anyways, but they're not as thick as the powdered pigments. So, like I said, if you want no transparency, you definitely want to go for the powdered, because this is definitely, oh, it's going to show through. Ruh-roh. Now, since I am adding acrylic, I'm going to have issues with this already starting to cure too. So you want to move very fast. Now, if you lift it up and you immediately see popsicle stick like this, you know it's not thick enough, unfortunately. As soon as I spread this out though, that'll help from it curing too fast. Now, I didn't read the instructions on this one. It's been a while since I worked with the amazing clear cast, but if I remember correctly, it was about a 30-minute working time. So I'm cutting that down by using acrylic pigments. And I'm trying to make it as thick as possible without making this react too much. You gotta make do, especially during COVID when you can't get your hands on the normal supplies that you would. So that's a little bit better. I'm gonna have to go with that. Just gonna have to have a slight grayish background. Now, since I really mixed this white, I can go ahead and scrape this side here. Okay, as that's working its way out, I'm gonna go ahead and use the other colors, just a touch for these. Oh man, they're so transparent. I don't like this. I need my powdered pigments back. Okay. And we are going to add some glitter in here too. Where did that go? What? Oh, right by me. This is the glitter color. You know what? I know I'm going to need more of that base color. I'm going to go ahead and mix it up right now. Before I do my colors. Now, since I do have acrylics already mixed into these, I'm going to keep agitating them, or I might even end up already laying them out. So we're going to just do this. Now I also brought my resin thermometer with me, and that will be in Bozeman. So I will be able to work with that on Friday when I do the countertops for the first time. That's why it's always better to overmix resin. You know, I should have. I just wanted to save some to do with my niece. Oh well, now you guys can see what happens when you mess up and you gotta try to catch up. So when I was taking the countertop epoxy class, I had some issues with it getting too hot because we were supposed to wait for it to get to 100 degrees and then start pouring. Well, their camera, they had issues, so they had to switch. And by then, my freaking resin was already at 150 degrees. So it started to cure already in the cup. So I had to remix and try to catch up to the rest of the online class, which I had no idea where everyone else was because I was like the only person participating on Facebook, and then everyone else was on Instagram. Okay, and I'm gonna have to remix with the white pigment again, just like I did. So that way everything gets fully mixed. And this was brand new. Brand spanking new. I'm gonna do this. And I'll cut. Let all of it come out. Okay. Now I'm gonna spread this around. And I'm going to try to blend it in with the gray that's underneath. Don't get anything done, stuck in my mind. I keep on missing your touch, missing your vibe. This feeling like I wanna sit behind. Would you come on over? Won't you let me do? Give it all you got, babe. Give it all you got, baby. I'd rather try to lose you. Give it all you got, baby. Give me all you got. Now, normally I would give this more time too, but the issue is she has her nail clients all booked up. So I have to get this done ASAP in order for her to be able to put this right back up and use it as legs. The shadows cover up my sins. I was smiling in hindsight. But baby, I don't get to win. I don't get anything done, stuck in my mind. I keep on missing your touch, missing your vibe. It's feeling like I wanna sit behind. Would you come on over? Won't you let me do? Give it all you got, babe. Give it all you got, baby. I'd try to lose you. Give it all you got, baby. All right. So now we have most of this down. We're gonna go ahead and start our dirty pour. I need new gloves. Ooh, this is perfect. All right, let's go. All right, so now we are gonna do our effects, and I'm gonna add, let's see, just a touch of this glitter into one of the colors here. So let me grab some that's come out of this. I'm gonna add it into here. It up. I do not know what song this is or what words are on here, so if it says anything inappropriate, I'm sorry. It shouldn't, because it's not an epidemic sound, but just in case. All right, so now we're going to just pour straight into here. I want to leave just a little bit to be able to do some marbling too. And these are the colors that she had picked out to match a painting that she has in there. So now that I have it dirty poured in here, I'm going to spread it out. And now we're going to start right over on the edge and drag. As it slowly comes out. Oh, yeah, okay, this song is very inappropriate. I am so sorry. Alright, so now that I made it all the way across, I have a little bit more in here so I can allow it to drip off to create some extra veins. Alright, to the side. Now, we're going to take this. We're going to let this go out and join up to it. Man, these act so differently than the powdered pigments. I do not like it. No, I do not recommend Lumiere. I mean, this looks pretty cool in person. I know lighting kind of sucks there, but. Okay, now we're going to take some of that glitter. glitter really brings it out. That's cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. I want more of that dark though. Oh. Okay, I have some more of this dirty pour that still came out, so I'm going to use a little bit of that and bring that right back into the middle. All right, now I'm going to take some of that alcohol and spray that across here, and that'll give some really cool textures coming off after I do some fractures here. Okay, I'm just going to do this in a couple areas. Normally I would have some mica powder that I definitely put to mix with this 91% isopropyl alcohol, and that will create some accents coming along. So let me do a little bit higher up. I don't know how the alcohol is going to react with the Lumiere. Doesn't really react very well. I don't like it. Yeah, it's just whatever. With the mica pigments, it's way cooler and kind of forces things to separate, so it looks really cool. All right, now let me touch more of this resin. Baby, why are you offended? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and torch this. I really like what the dustpan did. I'm not happy I didn't have the powder pigments. So I'm gonna do another one of these test pieces before I do the countertop on Friday. So make sure you guys watch the, ooh yeah, it's very unlevel here too. That's the other thing, it sucks. So all of this is running off and I'm gonna have to lift this up some more and get it to go this way. Okay. Now I gotta say there's really not a lot of bubbles with this resin, and that's something that's really quite nice. But I don't think that it's going to be much of a countertop resin for me personally, because it's not creating a lot of really cool effects with the materials that I'm using. So I'm gonna put 2 more empty cups here and hopefully get this to go downwards. And then I'm gonna take some more of this resin. Oh, shoot. There we go. Get it to go down for a bit. And then I'm gonna take some more of this resin over here on the side and get that to accent just a couple more spots that sort of unleveled its way out of here. Some of these lines. Okay, I'm gonna we're not. All right. So most of that's going to run back this way now, and that'll help kind of cover up some of these other areas that just sort of don't look as well covered. I can make it a little bit thicker too. All right, so let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this particular project. And if you have done the dustpan method, I would love to know how it worked out for you and whether or not it's something that you would like to do again. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna have to babysit this piece, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I think it's gonna look really cool in her thingamabob, the nail place, and I will, her salon, there we go, I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. And I will take a picture, I have a before picture already, so I will take a picture of the after, now that this is all pretty much done. Once this gets installed, right back up again. All right, hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic day. See y'all later, everyone.